fresh from the Century Arms surplus corner, this handsome Bulgarian Makarov. That's 9x18 Makarov. Start things off, of course, with full mag plus one. They do come with one mag typically, but more mags are available. Gonna decock, leave it on safety. Use that heel mag release that leaves you with the mag you just pulled out. I don't know, hand it to your buddy to reload or something while you're shooting. Off safe. Since we are not on a normal range, we're kind of in a swamp and too close for steel. I'm just gonna shoot at the paper from about 10 yards. We can take a look afterwards. So sorry for the no ding. If you're missing the dings, you can just go ahead and say it as I shoot if you think I would have hit the steel. Let's see how this guy runs. Back on fire. Start off with that double action. And now we've got our singles. We're using Silver Bear zinc plated steel case now. I just saw a little fire. Oh, didn't go all the way in the battery there. And that was just on the last shot. So full mag plus one, pretty good with mags that are decades old. Probably need a little bit of lube in them. That would probably solve the problem. Let's see what this thing eats and how it shoots in the What's for Dinner. What's for dinner for 9mm Makarov, also known as 9x18, is a little simpler than normal because really there's not a whole lot out there. We do have these nickel-plated hollow points critical defense weighing in around 95 grain. Most of them are around there. Fiocchi 95 with brass. We got some Gecko 95 grain brass. Then the Wolf Polyformance, also 94 grain. Brown Bear Makarov 94 grain. Silver Bear in 94 grain. And PPU in 93 grain is our lightest. Not a whole lot of variance. Those of you new to this caliber, 9x18 is right in between 380 and 9mm. 380 is 9x17 and 9mm is 9x19. So we'll see how this old Bulgarian Makarov does.
So first up for What's for Dinner is the 93 grain PPU ammunition. I'm gonna start on circle number 1. Woo! That one's definitely moving my hands around. Next up is the 94 grain from the Silver Bear.
Zinc-plated steel case.
It is zinc-plated steel case, and I'm a little nervous because it's a grain heavier and that last one was snappy enough. Circle number 2. Oh.
You can pull again on a double action.
Okay. Now my trigger's way out there. Oh. That one did not want to go.
One dead, we'll see what we got. It's a shame there was one dead because those two were pretty good.
I mean, nothing hit it. Should probably try it. And try that one again. And it fired just fine. Might have limp wristed it because I noticed that when that safety on the slide came back, it bit my thumb a bit. So another 94 grain from Brown Bear is some lacquered steel. Interesting. I'll be interested to see the difference in the two. Not as snappy. That wasn't bad.
Smells differently too.
It does. Next up is the Wolf Polyperformance non-corrosive steel case. Yes, I can read.
How many grains?
94. That's on the box too. Circle number 4. Ooh. That is a lot snappier than the other. Sharp. Snappy as that's getting. Thankfully, this is the heaviest load at 95 grains. This is the Gecko Full Metal Jacket brass cased. Circle number 5. Whew. It smells good though.
Shot really well.
For circle number 6, we're going to use a Fiocchi 95 grain in a brass case. Ooh, that one fed nice. The magazine fed nice. It's got a very consistent feel to it.
A little bit of fireball at the end.
I like that stuff. All right, next up is Hornady's Critical Defense. It's the only hollow point we have out here today, and it's in 95 grain. I'm going to shoot at circle number 7. Also has had a very consistent feel, not too much snap. So for accuracy, we're doing 5 shots from 7 yards, and today we'll use the Brown Bear. This is the 94 grain, and I'll shoot at the left circle square. I thought it wasn't snappy, but it's getting me.
I will also be using the lacquered steel Brown Bear, trusting Tia's opinion that it's softer, at least the first time. For 5 shots from 7 yards, I'm gonna go for the right square. I'm gonna be bold and go decock for that first shot. See how this guy does. Anticipated that last one, and as you can see, the double action also caused me to pull my shot a little bit for the first shot.
I was really excited when Graham came home and told me that we were going to start doing some classics. I had seen Makarovs, watched plenty of reviews on them, but I had never held one, especially on the range. I was a little nervous about what kind of recoil I was going to have, mostly because the trigger guard is rather sharp, so when I squeeze up on it, it digs into my knuckles a little bit. It wasn't so bad, even with some of those really snappy loads. By the way, I found Graham's magazine. And something else that I'll note too is the traditional grips have a lanyard-esque feature on it too that I just noticed. I really love the looks of these. If it was a little bit more easy for me to operate, I would consider carrying it, other than it's a single stack. Something that I had a little bit of an issue with is the sights. They're very low profile, which is why we had the white dots on the targets today, make them a little bit easier to see. It's got beautiful I wouldn't call it a stippling because it's not necessarily for grip, but it's got a nice texture up here that I've noticed and appreciated also. Easy for me to operate. It's not hurting my hands, even with some of those really heavy, snappy loads. I like it.
So the Makarov is of course a classic. 9x18 being a little more than 380, a little less than 9mm. You've got a decent round. It's blowback action, which means you feel all that snap. It can be snappy, and depending on your hand size, you do have to be careful. I had some issues with the safety banging my knuckle if I gripped real high like we do with the modern shooting style. Also, the pinky rest of the magazine kind of cut onto my pinky. That's just because I have large hands. Single action was crisp. I hope in the audio there you could hear the reset of the trigger. It's a very soft feeling, but it's still there and you can definitely hear it. And other than that, I guess a major feature would be the European style heel mag release. Takes some getting used to. The intent behind it, or the theory, was this way you're retaining your mag, not tossing it. So you pull out, dump that empty mag, bring up your next one. Not everybody likes that, but there are some aftermarket solutions for that. It's a really handsome gun. It's a cool piece of history and something interesting. I gotta say, during the ammo scare after President Obama was elected the first time, when nothing was available, I was still able to shoot my Makarov because 9x18 was still around. So it is kind of cool to have a non-mainstream caliber for times like that, and just to experience different things. And as a pseudo history geek, I guess you could say, not quite a nerd, a geek, I think it's neat to feel what the other side was shooting. So if my hand looks a little more comfortable on this gun, and this is my older personal Makarov, I swapped over to this grip from Fab Defense, which, as you can see, gives you quite a bit of beaver tail to help protect you from getting bit. You have to hold lower on the gun than you can with the traditional grips. But another neat feature of it is, if I can find what I did with that magazine I was just holding. I'm gonna stare at the camera intently while I dig around and find which pocket I put that magazine in. Presto, we got the magazine now. So on this one, there's actually a button that is transferring to the heel release. And yes, it has a lanyard loop because you don't want to lose your Makarov. So to show you how well that works, the mag in, I push the button, it drops out. So it's a pretty cool aftermarket accessory. If you want to pseudo modernize the gun, it, for my hands anyways, makes it more comfortable and keeps my knuckle from getting nailed by that safety. Just wanted to show you that cool little bit from Fab Defense for the Makarov.
I don't know what else to say. Cut it.